Hi team, good evening, both Zoom and YouTube team. We will start exactly at 6 p.m. with the reverse scaling. Hi, Sai. Happy Diwali. Okay, team, let's begin. Good evening and also good morning, team, for both Zoom and YouTube. Thank you for joining today's session. So let's do a short recap on previous class topic. Then we will start today's topic. So validating the text message. So this particular concept can be used for all these scenarios, positive scenarios, any text, any error message, any successful message. So in simple, a text validation means we have to follow this trick. So what we will be doing is we will try to identify that particular web element, and then if that is exist or if that is displayed, using the get text method, we will try to get that particular value during runtime. That is called the actual text. And then we will be having expected text. With the help of equals method, we will compare it. If both of them are equal, then we will say it is passed, or else it is failed, and we have to display the actual and also the expected results. So this is how we will be doing it for all type of web element. Only one minute difference here is in terms of coding, the variable naming convention. We have to update it accordingly. Then handling the image. Image, again, it is classified into two types. One is static image Another one is an image which is having some functionality. So in this example, we saw the robot image. So image means mostly we can't validate height, width, that size, dimensions, or pixel, that we can't do it. That is one of the drawback of Selenium. We don't support that much good image validation, but we can validate what is the text of that image. So with the help of get attribute method, we will try to get the image text. So in this example, that image text value is saved in the ELT. 1 minute, I forgot to start the recording. Or anyhow, still we didn't start the main topic. So with the help of get attribute method, we can retrieve the value and display it. If you want, we can do both the what is the actual, what is the expected result. We can compare and do it. That's the one thing. An image which is having a functionality means in this example, the logo image. So definitely every automation project, we will be validating the logo image. So what is the image text using the get attribute method, and then actual and the expected. Now I am hard coding these value here, but in framework level and all, we will be sending this value from the test data, that is from the Excel sheet. Then handling the drop down. So this is very important. And before that, the difference between get attribute and get text is a very famous interview question. You must know how to explain that. So I have explained you the importance, how it will take. So rewatch this video, then form in your own words how to explain the difference between get attribute and get text. For Zoom team, you have the document in that I have already clearly mentioned. Just read that and explain it accordingly. Then handling the drop down, we can able to handle drop down with the help of three. I think this one on that we tried no after class. Okay, let me remove these. Okay. So drop down, what we are doing, we try to identify that particular drop down. Once we identify, we are creating the object for the select class and passing which drop down here. So this is the syntax. Then with the help of object name, we have three methods: select by visible text, select by value, select by index. So mostly everyone will go with the select by visible text. Then if the visible text is too big and select by value is somewhat shorter, means you can go with value. So, sometimes the visible text will be dynamic, so then you can go for value. Then even value is not that much good, the final option, you can go for index. So this is not advisable, but still this is like the last option. So now the next topic. Before that, I want to tell one more thing which I didn't tell it in the video. That is, I will be teaching you the 20 modules, right? For the paid guys, I will be giving you my own framework that will be having 100 automation test case. In that, everyone have to execute, update the script, and create the new script. So this I will hand over to you once I complete the TestNG. It is already in the Canvas portal. I will maybe for paid class or paid members, we will have a separate class on this, which I didn't tell in the introduction video. So accordingly, you have to get practice in this. This framework is exactly similar or exactly how it will be in all the automation projects in all other company. So when you know how to explain this, then like 50% of the interview is cracked, because the first question in an interview is what is the frameworks you have worked in your previous company. So exactly you can explain this framework This we are dividing into three level: execution level, then maintenance level, and creating new automation test case in the existing framework. So this we will have a separate class that I will inform you later. Just I want to convey this now. Now for today's topic, we know what is multi-select. That is, we know what is a drop-down where we use to select the value. Same way, there is something called multi-select drop-down. So in our page, go to practice automation. This option will be in the demo side web table. Just scroll down. You have this is a multi-select. You can able to see some values. Multi-select means by pressing the control key manually, how we will be doing is by pressing the control key you can multi-select or you can unselect. So this is how we will be doing it in the real-time scenario. Now how to automate this particular flow, this particular functionality. This is multi-select drop-down. So I have mentioned MS Edge browser. As of now, we will go with the Chrome browser, and tomorrow we will start with the Firefox. Next week we will do the MS Edge. So this is a link, and you have to select some randomly few values. So let's try to do this example. 1 minute. Just cross-checking the queries. Yeah, good evening, all. Handling multi select public static void will finish. So we are going to launch the URL, this URL. After we launch, here how to select the multiple value. First, we will inspect and understand this. Right click, inspect, how it is designed. So if you see this, again, select classes used. This also will look exactly like a drop down. It is designed using the select, but this having some multiple field and the name, this name locator programming, we have style and other things, so we can use the name locator and having the options. So value, we have something, and this is called the visible text, select by value, and the index. So this is what we learned till now. Now how we handle the drop down, same way we have to handle the multi select. No big difference, but in multi select we can able to select multiple values. In drop down we can able to select only one value. So this is programming. Let's try to multi select. First we will try to declare it. What is that name? Programming knowledge. Programming knowledge. So web element. Then I can say this as multi select equal to driver dot find element by dot name. The name is programming. So we identified it. And then the next step is we have to create the object instance. Okay. Okay. First we will check if this multi select dot is displayed, then only we are going to try something. If it is not there, I will say multi select option is not displayed. I can say programming knowledge option is not displayed. So here I mentioned this, let it be, no issue. In or else why to adjust programming multi-select. Okay. Now we already know this is a select. We have seen that select. So we have to create the object instance for the select class. So select the object name. It is languages. See, I'm using, these are all languages now. So I'm giving languages equal to new select and passing that particular object, web element. Importing it. Yes. Now, same like how we did all the methods, we can do it here also. Object dot, see, select by visible text, value, index. In addition to that, other features also we can do it, like deselect by index, deselect by value, deselect by visible, and deselect all. Like that, we can do few more methods. So in terms of coding, it is same. If for drop down, you will just mention select some value, country value. Here, same thing, you're going to mention multiple values one by one in a sequential way. So what requirement we will do now is, in this, let's try to select like Java, Python. I'm just pressing the control key and just selecting it. Then scroll down because it is hidden. See, till JavaScript only it is displayed. This PHP and C sharp in the hidden. So that's why I want to try that also. PHP, C sharp. So all four value I am going to select like this. So first one, how I will do is using the visible text. So object dot select by visible text. It should be exactly how it is in the application. Let's try to inspect. Don't take a risk. Don't type it. So Java, we are selecting. This is what in the drop down we are doing till now. Now, in addition to that, we are doing select by visible text. One more value, Python. Value me anyhow. I'm going to use all these three methods. Now the next one using value, select by value. Real time, you will use only one method. Now I'm just using combination of all the things. Select by value. What is the value? PHP. I'm copying it from here. And then using the index. Dot select by index. So index number we have to mention. What is the index number? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C sharp number is 5. So we are done. Let's try to execute this program. So if you cross check, compare it with the drop down, same step. We can use only one option to select in the drop down. But if you get some multi-select, same step, but use the same method again and again to select multiple value according to the requirement. I'm not doing anything. It selected actually. It Java, Python. If I scroll down, PHP, C sharp. It means even if the object is hidden, then also it is selecting PHP C#. So no big difference between multi-select and drop-down. Same method you have to use multiple times. But in addition to this select by visible text, select by value, select by index, we have something called deselect. Maybe what we can do now is in the same flow, you selected all the four. Now let's try to deselect PHP. If I'm doing it manually means you have to press Control key and click on PHP. 3 values will be there. After that, deselecting all. But manually you can't deselect all. At least some value to be selecting. But through automation you can deselect all. So why in real time scenario? Okay, first let me try to add this code. Then I'll explain it. Deselecting. So deselecting using the visible text or whatever dot see deselect. You can use whatever you want. I'm just trying with the visible text PHP just now. So after selecting, it will deselect. Let's see whether this is working or not. And before that, let's try to add thread.sleep. Again, this is for demo purpose. In your assignments, never use this code. Just for demo purpose only I'm adding. So PHP and then this one we are adding it. Let's try to execute again. First it will select all the 4 value and then deselect the PHP value. See, I gave 3-second wait. Then it select PHP C#. Now it deselect PHP. See, still C# and other values are selected. It is deselecting. So how we will use this in real-time application. Just imagine you want to select some multiple options, maybe whatever be the application. Sometimes what will happen by default, some values will be selected. So we never know what are all the values it will be selected. But as per the flow, we have to select some other value or same value. We never know. This varies from test case to test case. At this time, what you have to do is first you should deselect all as a default step, and then whatever the value you want, you can select it. So that's the real time. But still, if you want to deselect single value, that is also possible. But in real time scenario, what we will be doing is whenever we come across this particular functionality, by default I will add this step, deselect all. First, if it launch, first deselect all. We don't know, sometimes it will be selected, sometimes it may not be selected. For example, JavaScript is selected by default. As per your flow, you want to select Java and Python means now deselect JavaScript. Something it's then you have to update code accordingly. Then if not, deselect PHP. Like this, we never know what is the default value it will be selecting. So rather than complicating in that level, once you launch, I'm saying it in real time scenario, first deselect all and then go for multi-select. So before executing this, I'll be mentioning in the top of the program. Let's see whether this one is working or not. So after PHP, it deselects, it wait for 3 seconds and deselect all. Again, this is also interview questions. Interview question mostly based on the scenarios it will be. They will never ask direct question. They will give some, see. Now PHP C#, after 3 seconds, remove PHP. After 3 seconds, remove all the value. All the values deselected. So this is how we have to handle the multi-select. Is everyone clear? Zoom team, please, you can message me or You can unmute and tell. Everyone understood the functionality, real-time implementation. Coding wise, there is nothing here. Today we are learning just two more method. One is deselect by visible text or whatever, and deselect all. That's a new thing we are learning. And if you want to select multiple values, select by, like that you have to mention again and again. How to capture selected value from multi-select. So here, there will be a property. How to capture instance you want to take during runtime. But what is the real-time usage? Why you want to take your requirement itself? You are going to multi-selected. You itself know what is the value you are going to select. Then why you want to retrieve it during runtime?
So, for example, um, by default, if there is one value selected, I wanted to capture that value.
Okay, fine. Actually, here there will be a property value in that particular value. You can see it. Since this is developed by me, it's not properly followed the coding standards. I'll show you this one, country. So here again, value selected sometimes without value, and with value. If we inspect, we will have an option called value. In that, this value will be getting stored. That we can able to get attribute, that particular property, that attribute name. If you give, automatically during runtime, it will capture it. I'll try to find some examples. Maybe if you find any examples like that, share me that link. In that, we will try to find what is the attribute value. Mostly value is an attribute value. During runtime, these things will get stored, like how we saw it in the text box. Apart from to query, what about others? Is everyone clear about this particular program? So that I can move to the next one. And the Zoom team, we need check multiple attribute for this piece. Mostly that is what, to my knowledge, the you are not in a position to retrieve the default value for sure. That will never come for sure, because the requirement itself you have to select multi-select. So at that time you will know what is the input value. So this is again complicating the automation scenario. Anyhow, that's a very curious question. Here, it's not possible to retrieve that particular one, because in the web development there is no such attribute which saves that one other than value attribute. Either it should be value attribute, or else you can share me some live application where any default value is selected, so that I can inspect and tell you which attribute that particular values are getting stored. That's the only way we can do it. We don't have any other way to find whether multiple values is selected or not. I think Arun understood the concept. Okay, let's move on to the next topic, that is handling authentication. So this is again another important program. Again, a very important interview question. If your resume is having banking application, most of them will be working in manual testing, or you will work in some other project, or BPO, KPO. You will be adding some projects in your resume uh, after completing this course. But my personal suggestion, don't add banking applications, because testing a banking application is not that much easier. you will get a lot of questions from banking application, because just to test a banking application, you must know in depth about so many concepts. So my personal advice, if you're going for an interview, try to avoid the banking application as much as possible. So many concepts involved in it. In that, this is one of the famous concept. That is, whenever we access some database, especially in banking, it will happen. Additional pop-up, we will be getting it. This is that additional pop-up. We have to enter the credential once again, then only we can able to access it. Famous interview question: how will you handle authentication? So how we will handle? It's very, very easy. At the end, I will ask you an interview question. It's very easy. You can reply. Okay. This is the URL. This is one more demo page. We can use it for testing. I just shared you for both Zoom and YouTube. Here, the third option you can able to see basic authentication. If you want to check other things also, you can go and try it. Basic and they mentioned the username and password as admin. First, let's try to understand manually what it is. When we click at basic authentication, you will get this pop-up. Now, first thing what you have to remember is, okay, first manually we will complete, then we will go into the automation. Here we have to type admin. For this example, admin. In real-time scenario, you will be typing some other username and password, then click on sign in button. If you do that properly, then you will get congratulations. You must have a proper credential. So this is what we have to test it. In case, okay, since we entered it, I will do this. Okay, it is close it. Okay, it saved my password. I have to clear it. If you try it with some other username and password, it will tell it is not a properly authenticated. How can I make it? The problem is I can't close the Chrome browser. In that, the live is going. Okay, I have alternative way.
You can do it in incarnate.
Let me put it into the Edge browser. Wait. Click here. You'll get this. Like this is in the Edge. I'm showing it here. In case if you're giving a wrong credential and click on sign in, it will not allow you to enter. Maybe admin, something else, sign in. It is not allowing. You have to properly enter this credential. And in case if you click on cancel, you will get not authorized. So how to handle this scenario? Yeah, ignition mode. Thank you. That's a smart. I just forgot it. Anyhow, I just using the Edge one. Now, if you closely observe this application, remember this is the place web application and this is window based pop-up. And we know one thing, Selenium is for web based application. So how can we handle this scenario? We have several ways. In real time scenario also, in case there will be definitely so many window pop-up, some small like upload, download, some pop-ups and all will come in as a window one. So, but Selenium is for the web-based application. How can we handle this? There are some tools using that we can integrate it and do it. There are tools like Auto IT, it's not a part of syllabus, but you must know this. Auto IT, this is a one more automation tool for desktop application. And then using the robot class, and another one using the Securely tool. So this is an image based tool. It will try to save all the images and handle it. This is another Python class, and auto IT. So if you even you can Google and check it, you will have these things. Auto IT. It's not a part of this one, but still it's worth to know this. We are talking about real projects. In real projects, it's not like 100% it will be of purely web. It will not be. There will be some desktop things will come. At that time, you have to integrate Selenium and Auto IT. Here you can see Auto IT. But again, this Auto IT is not that much effective way to use it. Still, some old projects, they will use it. Another tool is, if you want to explore it, you can do it in your future project. If someone asks you to do it, you can have this option. But my personal suggestion, Sikuli, see, there is an Sikuli versus an Auto IT itself an interview question. Sikuli, it's an MIT product. All right, man. So this is the image-based image based automation tool like Selenium. This is an image based. Everything in your desktop it will consider as an image, and we can able to automate. So we have to add some jar files and integrate. This is also an add tool. This tool along with the Selenium, you can able to automate it. How to do this? You can go and check it in the docs. It will consider everything as an image. What is the dimensions of everything? I think you have to check it one by one. You'll have how to automate visual testing, how to find images, handling images, everything here based on the images, and then you can also write some scripting part. So this is how the real time project will look like. Sometimes we have to integrate with other tools, whichever best in the market, and we have to make that test case okay for everyone. So it is also given, it is purely based on the Java, and also we have a Python code using def given. So based on the scenarios, you can, what you can do is you can try to add or integrate it, then handle this pop-up. That's the right way to do it. But there is one proxy available. How can I handle this particular pop-up authentication without using these tools? The reason why I said this much story is you should understand what is the interviewer's mindset, because this is a very real-time scenario. Everywhere you will get it. Once you tell the answer which I am going to tell, then they will ask, is there any other tool in the market using that can we automate it? Means just tell this auto IT securely, and they will ask, is there, have you faced in your project? Just tell in my project. Luckily, we automated everything using the web application, so that they will not pitch into the Securely or auto IT. Better don't go with the auto IT, go with the Securely. If I get time, I'll just show you one demo on Securely. So let's try to handle this scenario. Handling authentication. 1 minute, I'm cross-checking the queries. This how window pop, if you go and inspect, if it is not working, we can say it's a desktop or window pop-up. You try to inspect it now itself, it will not work. This one, Go and right click. Here, nothing is happening. If it's a window means you should able to inspect, right? Web means you can able to do it. Above window based application, you can't do any of its inspect functionality. That's how we will differentiate it. So first, this is a very easiest program, but I gave this much explanation only for interview point of. So directly you can launch that URL. So this is the direct URL. If you launch it, what will happen? Let's see. Let's execute this program. What this will do, this will launch that URL. That is nothing but clicking on here, then you get this URL. So this is how you will see it when we execute it. Let's try it. Run as Java application. So like always while explaining something, if you feel any questions, you can post it in the Zoom. I'm reading it. See here, you can able to see we got this pop-up. Now I want to enter username, password, click on sign in button. So integrating with multiple tools, that's something complicated scenario. Now this is a normal way. So how can we handle it? The syntax. First, let's understand the syntax. Syntax to authenticate. So you have the URL. This is the URL. HTTP something like this only. You have the URL, or else we'll put string URL here. Now, then followed by the something is there. Let's keep it. Now, what you have to do is slash, you have to put what is the username. Remember, this is nothing but username, colon, password, at. So like this is the syntax. So in your project, if you have some username and password, you have to mention it in the URL directly. Username, colon, password, and the at symbol. Very easiest answer for this interview question. But there are so many questions you will be getting after answering this. Is there any other way like that? So this is the syntax. Now, just tell me, if this is the syntax, what modification should I do? What is the username in our application? Tell me, what is the username? It is admin. Okay, you're all texting me. Fine. Anything is fine. Admin. In sense, in this example, the username is admin. Colon. Luckily, the password is also admin. That's it. Admin at the URL. At is very important. Now let me execute this program and see what happens. So when we executed first time, that pop-up was there. Now this will what to say, bypass that particular pop-up by entering the username, password, and click on sign in button. It's like API testing. In the URL, you can modify and get tested the request and response. Now, see that pop-up, we are not getting it. The reason is it just entered the username and password, but we can't see that how it is entering and click on sign in and all, we can't see it. But in the URL, if you pass the username, colon, password, and at symbol, we can able to handle the authentication. So whenever you get, first you must know why this is getting, because to keep the data more secure, definitely some additional authentication will be in the banking project. Specifically, I'm saying and this will be of desktop application mostly. So you are not mostly, definitely it will be of desktop application. To handle this authentication in the URL, what you have to give is username :password at symbol followed by the URL. Purely depends upon what is your requirement. That's it. If you do it, this will work. And then we have to validate the congratulations message. So we can validate this. Let me inspect it. Copy XPath. One minute. I'm just checking queries. So this is like a web element, some message driver dot find element by dot XPath. And the XPath I'm giving like this. And then now we have to validate it. Validate the successful message. So string actual greeting message. It's a greeting message equal to message dot get. Tell me, answer me. You must answer in the text. This is like a cross verification whether you guys understood or not. You will use get text or get attribute. If you said answer, that's it. You are on the track. Two right answers. What about rest of them? You'll use get text or get attribute. Even you can say attribute or text. That one word I'm expecting in the. Okay, good. Okay, fine. I'm just checking for YouTube also. Please share your answer. Okay, perfect. Everyone answered correctly. It is get text. Again, string expected greet message. We'll give it. And when you see here, whenever there is a text between the tags, so at that time we will be using the get text. So there is no attribute. That's how we will differentiate it. Now, if actual dot equals expected greet message, then we will say both the actual and expected greeting pages are same. Messages this one. Then in case if it is not same or not same, the actual. Never feel lazy to type these things. I'll show you what is the effect in the framework level and all. It will create for us. So this is done and you can close it. Here during teaching, I'm not using driver.close or quit. Make sure all your script when you submit for assignment, that is by default, you should have it. So I'm executing and I'm checking YouTube answer. Yes, Arun, Avita, it's right answer. I appreciate you all. Okay. Execution is completed. It handled it, both the actual are same. What is the greeting message? Congratulations, you must have a proper credential. That's it. very simplest program, but definitely they will ask a lot of questions. If you really, now I'm saying, if you really did manual testing on banking application, then only please mention it in your resume, or else never give a try. Mostly then, actually bank BFS we used to say, actually banking, if you mention, it is having more weightage to your resume. But again, the interview questions will not only on the automation, they will pitch into the application, how you will handle this scenario. They itself will tell some scenario in banking, how will you handle like that. That will be and all more complicated for automation interview. So safer side, when you prepare for interviews, healthcare, safer side, insurance project. And healthcare means mostly no one aware about it, because in India very less uh, hospitals nowadays they are started using, and before and all they won't give that much important to applications. But when you take US, UK, Europe, everywhere, they strictly follow the application. So healthcare project, if you say, you are very safe, but still you have to find some sample application automated. Then insurance application, safer project. Again, what else? Communication, that telecommunication, that is also a very safer project. So if you are from the manual testing, exactly what you did, you tell for that project only, I did automation. How you did automation, what is the framework means, you have to tell exactly the framework which I'm going to teach you. In that framework, if you know how to code it, that's more than enough. First 20 minutes interview question from the framework only. Once you're done with that, then they will pitch into how many questions you did, how many automation test cases you did. Like that, the interview will go. So then and there, whenever I get these topics, I'll share you my thought, those tips. But again, we will have a separate class in sense for Zoom guys. At that time, I will show you with some flow, some document, and I will tell you how to explain those stuff. So this is done. Then the next program, again, this is also without every interview. Actually, from now, it's like every interview questions will be from these areas. Now we are entering into the advanced automation, advanced Selenium. Till now, it was simple basics. Now we are entering into advanced after this program. That is iFrame, and then handling mouse and keyboard, it's easier only. Then handling alert box, handling multiple browser tabs, messages, dynamic web table. These are all advanced topic or advanced Selenium. To my knowledge, like 4 topics only will fall under this. All 4 are important. In sense, today and tomorrow classes very very important. So when how they will define, I should ask you a simple question or complex question is, first 15 minutes if you properly answer in the framework, like how you did, how you executed, how you did the maintenance work, what are all things, if you properly explain that, that's enough. Then they will ask how you will handle the multiple browser, how you will handling the iframes. So this is how the interview will be there. Like that, like 3 topics they will select. Once that is done, okay, this person is good in Selenium, let's move on to the Java. In Java, they will ask, okay, can you tell about OOPS concept? That's the next training. Okay, that's also fine. Then they will go to the TestNG. So this is how, like in every area, they will spend like 15 minutes. So if your interview is going beyond 30 minutes, means you are on the track. If it is like 45 minutes, means you're almost selected. But still, they will not give you a positive vibe. Like they will keep on asking you a question and want to get more from you. So handling iFrame. First of all, what is iFrame? For this, we'll use this link. I'm parallelly sharing this because you can open it and check it how the application look like. Okay. Yes, it's working. So till now, what we have seen is just a view of one web page. One web page means the registered demo one page or web table one page, just only one web page in that browser we have seen it. But this iframe concept is we can able to club multiple web pages in single view. What do you mean by multiple web pages? Here, this is one web page, this is one web page, this is one web page. That is the little truth. If you see it in this website, here, this is one web page. The second you click on Python for data science, it is the entire screen is navigated to the next one, not hyperlink, not hyperlink. That's wrong actually. This is entire web page. So this is one web page. This is one web page, but you can't see both the web pages in the same view. It's not possible. When you click on here, it is navigating to that page. Or when you enter some value and click on it, it is navigating to successful page. So that's how a normal web page will look like. But all the complex application in IT, they will develop with the help of this particular iframe. Here, multiple web pages. How? Here, when you click on, see here, this is packages, all classes, and something here. The second I click here, the changes you can see it in the same page rather than showing it here in the same page. Now, when I click on selenium.chrome, see here that package org open QA selenium.chrome. You can able to see that details. Now, when I click on here, update will happen in this place. Yes, within the same, not page, within the same browser. Page means multiple pages. Browser means only one browser. I'm just answering for parallel into comments. Now, when you click on Chrome option, see the right side here. It is saying class Chrome option. When you click on help or index or anything, now in the same web page, it is saying these are all the help documents. So in the same browser, in single view, you can able to see all these content in the, so when you perform some operation here, you can see it here. If you perform operation here, you can see it here. So how they can do this development is with the help of iframe. Only through that concept, we can club multiple web pages in single browser, just for easy view. And to my knowledge, all the complicated applications which you are going to work in any automation project, they will be done using the iframe. If you are already into IT, you have something called timesheet filling. Maybe most of the timesheet filling, they will have multiple frames. You click here in the right side, you will see the timesheet. You go and inspect and see, you can see this concept. It's all iframe concept. So definitely interview questions will be there. Last from now, the next 3 to 4 topics, for sure, they will ask you any place from any place, they will ask one interview questions. So this is like handling iframe. So an iframe is an inline frame used inside a web page to load another HTML document inside it. So how can I understand? How can I confirm it's an iframe? Very easy. Right click on any frame. So go to inspect. First, I will tell you the shortcut. So we are going to play with these 3 frames. So I must know what is the name of this frame, what is the name of this frame, what is the name of this frame. Then only I can play with this. So let's try to know what is the name of each frame. Right click, inspect. Click here, put Control F. This is a shortcut. First learn the shortcut. Search for iframe. You can able to see 3 iframe. 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3. So this is the first iframe. Let me scroll down. There's again when I mouse over above this, Can you all able to see all classes? It's highlighted, everyone. And you can say or in the message, able to see it's highlighted. So this is what the iframe. Now, when I come down, so with the tag, if it starts with iframe, that is what. So if you see if you scroll down and see head, body, so those things and all inside that only. Now second iframe, that is this iframe. Now you can see this iframe is highlighted, and one more iframe. Yes, 3 of 3. This iframe. So totally in this requirement, we have 3 iframes. This is the easiest way to go and find iframe and its name. Or else another way is there. First, let's understand this is the iframe. And if you want to handle this requirement, this scenario in sense, what is the requirement is we have to launch this particular URL, and the URL which I gave is Selenium live application. So applications help center. So if you want to learn about other framework, other packages, everything in this link, the documentation is available. It is provided by the Selenium website itself. You can bookmark it. So what is the first thing you have to click on? openqa.selenium.grow, the second link. Then you can see this here. After that, you have to click on Chrome option, last value. Then you will get here. Then you have to click on help. In this particular frame, you have to click on help. You should see how this API document is organized. So this is the flow. This is the requirement. We are going to automate it. How can we automate this? First, interview question. What are all the ways you can handle the iframe? One is using the name, another one is using the index number. First, I'm going to teach you with the name, and then we will move on to index concept. And remember, whatever the concept I am going to teach you for the name is ditto same for index number. I will just copy, paste, and update few things in the program. So you have to understand the concept for sure, because so many confusion questions we can ask it from this one single topic. So we are saying iframes using the name. In sense, every iframe is having some name. We have to find that first of all. How to find it? Just now I said inspect, and just click here, Control F, iframe. It will give all the name. See the first name, the first one of one. The name is package list frame. So this is the first frame. Title is all packages, and then the next frame name is, when you mouse over, it is highlighting, it is package frame. And next one is this one. This name is class frame. So using the name, we can able to do it. What is the name of each frame? Is package list, package class. So this is the way we will find it. Or else what you can do is you can inspect and come here. Then once you are into the scroll up, slowly scroll up. You can see body, head, scroll up. Then you can see iframe. Now you can copy this. If you are not searching it, you can do this way. Same way, Chrome option. When you click on it, respective object will be displayed. Scroll up slowly. Body, head, scroll up, you will have the name. Copy it by seeing iframe. Same way for help. Scroll up, body, head. So 3 web pages, this name. So in this way also you can do it. Either directly search for iFrame or else you can follow a traditional way, scrolling up and doing it. It's up to you. Let's try to code it. Definitely I will be cross-checking everyone, especially from Zoom. You must answer it. So let's go to the next class. 1 minute. Handling iFrame, I'll put frame using name. This is not Selenium. This is Selenium Advanced. Okay. Public static void will finish. Let me mention the URL. And in the assignment, everyone mentioned like this. I appreciate you. Don't mention C drive path and all. Put the driver folder inside the project and start doing it. So what is the link? Let's get it from the requirement document. This is the link. Let me check it once. Yes, this is how when you launch, it should look like. And we already got some values. Put it here. Okay. So these are all the values. We got it. The name of each frame. Frame names. Frame names. Okay. Now, what is the first step after launching? We have to click on org openqa selenium.cron. Now, I have already said if it is a link text, you can go with link text or partial link text. But in this page, if you observe something, all the links are almost similar. If you go to partial value like DevTools, here also DevTools there. If you give a full value, OpenQA Selenium.devtool, that is also available here. So these are all this is how real-time scenario will look like. Even though it's a link text and partial link text will never work out in this particular case. So what is the alternative option is we have to go for XPath. So using the XPath, we can able to do it. So XPath of the respective one, inspect. This is the one. Copy XPath. It is having. Okay. Now I want to click on that. So usually what everyone will do, click on that open QA dot for this what we will do, driver dot find element XPath dot click find element. So how interviewer can able to check whether you really coded or not, this way dot click. You will say they will give a scenario. You will say like I will just mention those link and then it will work. Let's see, will it work? Selenium link is click. Selenium link, na? Selenium Crow. So, Selenium Pro. Okay. Let's see, it is going to fail for sure. but I want to make you feel like what are all the mistakes you will be doing it. As per the concept, if we mention X path and run it, it should work. But what happened? It is saying no such element. In sense, it is unable to find that particular link in the entire web page or in the frame. So if it is just one web page, this code will work. But now we have multiple web pages with the concept of iframes. So what we should do is, remember this is the mandatory step. What we have to do is activate the which frame. I will give some names. Maybe this as a list frame. I will give this as a list frame because see package list, package frame, class frame. So I will give the first frame as activate the list frame. First, you have to activate it. How to do that? Because 3 web pages there. Which one should I go and click? Just tell that driver dot switch to. You're just controlling. You're moving the control to something that is switch to dot where we will use for Windows, multiple browser for everything, like for a pop-up, like alert box, everything we will use driver dot switch to only. For frame, it is frame. And when I type frame, you can see we can handle using the index and the name. Will be going with the name. Just mention the name of that. What is that name? It is package list frame, semicolon. That's it. So if you want to click on a particular link, or if you want to, in this example, click, if you want to enter something on a particular web page, what you should do is first activate that particular iframe, either using index or name. In this example, we know the name is package list. I'm just driver dot switch to dot frame that particular name, and then this one. Now I'm going to execute and see the difference. Is it working or not? See here, org open QA selenium.chrome. It means the script is working. It just clicked on that particular link. It is working. So what is the mandatory step? First step, if you want to perform on iframe, is activate the frame which you want to perform any action. In this example, it is list frame. You activated it. What is the code for this? Driver dot switch to dot frame and give the name of it. Then whatever, if you perform like click, enter the value, drop down, whatever it is, it will work without any problem. So this is how the first point, remember, always come from the failures, normal failures when you start. So this is done. Now the next requirement is click on Chrome option. Chrome option means what? When you click on this, you have to click on Chrome option. Let me inspect OPX path. This one, it's a Chrome option. So now everyone will think like, okay, now this is another frame. It means first I have to activate and click on Chrome option. That's what everyone will think. Let's do it and see whether it will work or not. Activate the, let's give some name, maybe package frame, because this is list. I'm just giving this as a package frame. Package frame. So what you will do, driver dot switch to dot frame and its name. Inside this frame only, you have the link, that is click on Chrome option link. So driver dot find element by dot XPath that particular value. Now you think it will work, but it will not work. Dot click. Okay, this is out. Chrome option. Now let's execute and see what type of exception you're getting it. Let's see it. Yes, every iframe name will be unique. Definitely it will be unique. In case if it is not unique, we have to go with the index. What happened? It clicked on Selenium.Chrome. Okay. Then it didn't click on Chrome option. What is an error message? No, see, one more interview question. Can you explain some 5 exception? Few. So I'm just creating those exception. First exception, object is not found. So no object, no element found exception. Now what is an exception? It is saying no such frame exception. This exception you will get only in iframes. What it is saying, there is no frame element found by this particular name or ID. Everything coding, everything is perfect. But still, why it is not working? Because here comes the twist. This is what the interviewer will expect. This is the mandatory step. Mandatory step. So when you launch the application, first time you can directly activate and then perform action whatever you want. But now, start. Okay. Now, in case if you want to move from here to here control, what you have to do is you have to come to default content position, default position, this position. This position is nothing but just for simplicity, it is like an eagle view. You are just inside this particular frame. Now you are coming to a position like I can see all the 3 frames. Then you have to go inside this particular, whichever the frame you want to activate or do it. So what is the code is, it's a mandatory step, that is switch back to default content. So driver dot switch to dot default content. If you tell this answer, this is what the answer I will expect in case if I am discussing on iFrame. If you tell this one word, okay, this person understood the entire concept. What this will do is, first it activated this. When you launched first time, you no need to go to the default. You activated this and clicked on here. It worked. Now we have to move control from one frame to another frame. In this place, if you want to go and click means you have to activate. There, if you activate, it will not work. Before that, what you have to do, you have to switch the control to default content position. So easiest way how I will remember is, you with the cars, you will be in third gear or fourth gear, suddenly you stop in the traffic means you will bring back to the neutral and then go for the first gear, right? So when something is stopped, you will come to the neutral, then only you will do it, right? That's the way I will remember. So whenever you want to control from one frame to another frame, activating, first come to that neutral position. We call this as a default content position. Now I am executing. See what will happen. I think I from 1 minute. I just opened one. I'm executing again. I'm closing all the one more time. What happened? First it clicked at Chrome. And then what happened? It clicked that Chrome option. That's why we can able to see this. Or else, if you click back, if it will be like this only, because this is Selenium, this one. When you click on Chrome option only, you will get class Chrome option. It means the action performed accurately. So what is the takeaway point here is, and you can see the results. Selenium Chrome link is clicked, Chrome option is also clicked. So when you launch application first time, you want to perform any action on any of the frame, either click or enter or select. First, what you have to do, first time activate that frame and perform the action. It can be any action. In this example, I'm considering the link. And then when you want to perform any action in another frame means, first you have to come back to the default content position, then activate whatever the frame you want. After that, perform the action. Everyone understood? Zoom team, clear? Because I'm going to ask one question. You must answer at that time. Everyone, good? Okay. Zoom team is good. They are saying about just checking the YouTube. Yes, we can't switch between the iframe without default. That is what neutral position. You must use that. Now, interview question. I'm giving you a scenario. So as per the requirement, we clicked here, we clicked here. Now I want to click on help. So what we have to do? We have to activate this frame and click on help. This is what we have to do. So just tell me, what is the next line of code? You message me. I think you can reply only to the host. Just reply me what will be the next line. So what should I type here? And if you want to know the frame name, this is the frame name. So what should I type at line 52? Just you have an answer in front of you. What is the code you will type at line 52? Even you can take 3 minutes, 4 minutes, but I want answer. Good. Sai. Sandhya. Good. DJ, please rename it. I don't know who it is. Excellent, Praveen. Good. Yes, Arun Kumar, Ashokan. Excellent. In YouTube also people are catching me. Good. Arun. Perfect. That's it. We are done. So what we should do is driver dot switch to dot default content. This step is mandatory. Thank you, Ami. You're also good. So bring the control back to the new default content position. Don't tell neutral and all. That's just for easy understanding. Bring back control to the neutral, default content position. Now activate the class frame. How to activate? Very simple. Driver dot switch to dot frame and its value. What's the value of that? The name is class frame. Yes, we activated. Now click on help link. I'm sure it will work. Driver dot find element by dot link text. Now link text will work. Because this link is very unique one, it is not there. But in rest of the cases, duplicate values will be there. Help link is clicked. And if you want to enter some value, you can do that also. So if you want to enter here, you can inspect and find its value. What's that value? Always 1 minute. Okay. So you can inspect this, and link means this one. If it is a text box means you can just use the ID and send the value, send keys. That is also fine. According to your requirement, you have to do it. Let's see how this will work. Run as Java application. Avita, Anil, super, your answer is correct. Yes, it's working. See, hell, since I didn't put thread.sleep, it's very quick. But you can cross check. Open Q.A Selenium Chrome. And then it came Chrome option. After that, it clicked at help. It means our script is working fine. That's it. One of the most important interview topic. We covered it. And how I'm that much confident saying like this will be asked in interviews. Usually, I'm talking about reality. After completing this course, you will go attend, you will get on first job interview itself. It's not that, it will not work in that way. You will attend like 3 to 4 interviews. That's how most of the guys will do it. If in that way I got a feedback, like some of the who got dual placed, all of them said like iFrame is such a very important question. So they used to share all their interview questions to me. So I am just trying to consolidate and putting it in the document. That is the document. It is uploaded to the Canvas portal. So don't take that document just like that. That is something the interview questions are asked just like 4 months before or 5 months before. If I feel like some important interview question, I will add it to that. So first, try to download that, keep it in your desktop. Whenever I complete some topic, you just go and check it in that document. Is there any interview question? We have it in that. First read that. One question. In Indo we have 3 ones. In window handling also, if we 3 window open, yeah, same way, but the code is even more complicated. That is tomorrow's topic, not tomorrow, next week we will see. But Windows, that is too complicated, but one full day I will be covering on it. So this iFrame we are done with the help of name. Now next way we have index number also. Okay, before that, okay, just remind me about one thing. One interview question I thought to ask here. Just remind me once I complete this index concept, at the end I will ask. So the next concept is using iFrame using index number. Okay. First we will understand the concept. Just imagine you have a frame like this. Frame like this means right now we saw a format. This is like this. You have multiple iframes, some web page. So how the index will happen is, before that you should know a few things. These are all called columns. These are called columns. These are all called rows. So how the particular indexing will happen is in this sequence, always from top to bottom in column wise only it will happen. 0, 1. It index means it starts from 0, 0, 1. Then it will go like this, 2, 3. Then it will go like this, 4, 5. So this is the way indexing will happen. For this example, I'm just showing one on real time. You will not see this. I'm just showing the most complicated, like 6 frames you have, means how the code will identify. Maybe as I asked, name, will it be unique? For example, name itself not there. what you will do it? We have only one option, index. So how it will allocate number is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In column wise, it will go, not row wise, column wise. So in our example, just tell me what will be the index of this. We have three things. What is the index of this? This. Maybe it will be 0. Then column wise, it will be 1. So this is the first column. Then come to the second column. Then it will be 2. Like this, it will go. For example, you have one more iFrame. Then this will be 3. This is how indexing will happen. Everyone clear? Zoom and YouTube clear? How indexing is happening? Name means you will put the name. Indexing means in the column wise. It will happen only in the column wise. Just remember that. I'm just going to modify the script. Second concept is very easy for me to teach. Just copy paste. This is using the ID. Okay. Here. Now this one is nothing but list frame. First one, that index is 0. In sense, this one is 0. This index for this is 1. Index for this is 2. And package frame, it is 1. Class, it is 2. That's it. 0, 1, 2. Let's execute. Same program. I didn't do anything. Same code. Switching back to the default position and blah blah. Same thing. But just change the index number in place of name. So let's see whether it will work or not. Oh, perfect. See, it's worked. In sense, the script is working. So in terms of coding, either its name or ID, there is very minute change only. Here we have to update it. Now I'm asking you, almost for 30 minutes, I'm just talking about this. Just reply me in the chat. Which is best? Index or name? If you say index, why it is best? If you say name, or why it is best? Which one you will choose? It's a pure common sense. Nothing here, automation. Which one you will go? ID or name? Just think and tell. It's not like you have to reply me very quickly. Which one, if you're a developer, you have a unique name, your ID will be working for sure, but which one you will go, whether ID or name? Why? Why also you should reply me in the message, but unfortunately in YouTube, if first person answers, second person can see it, but in Zoom, I can only read your messages. Answer, 2 of them correct. Okay. Some answer is something which is not in the syllabus. I'm asking using name or index number. Who's that? Someone in YouTube gave a right answer. Yes, as it works for name, it might not be name might not exist everything. Some going with index. I saw Abhi with the index. Praveen, rest of the team members with the name. In YouTube, Arun is saying like, yes, almost. Okay. Now see, I'm talking about practical problem. Just imagine, it's if name changes, you are executing today. Okay. Name in this regression, it is working. In next regression, name change remains. The fix is not a big thing. You will inspect and you will fix it. It will work perfectly. If name is not changing, not at all an issue. Our script will work without any problem. And just imagine suddenly the developer inserted one frame here 0, 1, 2, 3. Will that now just tell? Now imagine whether ID is the best solution or index is the best solution. Index will not work. But name, if you shuffle the frames from one position to another position, the name will remain the same, but the layout of ID will change. So choosing index number is not good option. Is everyone got it? The concept? Something changes means it's not a failure. It has changed in the application property. We will not consider as a failure in automation. Always in the estimation, we will give like 5% of the test case will update, will get failed because of change in property. We will give it in the estimation. So if changes, it's a maintenance project. I will update and execute, but it is not going to change every time I run. Maybe once in a 3 months, once they make some changes. But what if they change the layout? Entire program will not work in terms of index number because the number will changes. But for name, you just put that name in any places in this layout, it will work. So this is why iFrame is one of the important topic. So I'm just doing a short recap in iFrame. First of all, you all understood what is an iFrame. Like we can able to club multiple web pages in single view under the single browser. And how can we handle it? We can able to handle it with the help of name and the index number. So name means you will control F, iframe, find the name. If it is an index, it will be in the column wise. Which is best? Name is best. And index number, if frame layout changes, it will get failed. So I will go with the name. Based on the trial and error which I faced, I'm saying name is best. And then in terms of code, how we have to do it, when you launch first time, first you have to activate that particular frame and then perform the action. That's the first default. When you move the control between one frame to another frame means then the mandatory step, you have to switch back to default content position and then activate the frame and click or perform any action. Same story. When you move from one frame to another frame, just switch back to the default content position, activate the frame and perform the action. That's it. Driver dot close. We are done with handling iFrame. So it means now you're ready to answer this interview question. So if you have any doubt, you can message me. I'm just checking YouTube. Index might change the order. Get ID order changes will fail. Okay, fine. That's great. I hope even Zoom team is crystal clear about this topic. Okay. Now, one more interview question. You have to answer it. We have the time. What is the drawback of this particular program? Answer me in the text. What is the drawback of handling it? You will tell this answer. This is how I will tell. But what is the drawback they will ask? The interviewer person should not listen to our video or else we'll change the questions. What is the drawback of this program? Because in class, at least 50 to 60 questions I will leak out. What is the drawback? No. Actually, rename that. I don't know who is that. He's saying answers correct. This handling authentication, this program, just before iFrame, I taught you What is the drawback in this program? What is some problem, some mistake is there? What is that? No, wrong answer. No answer. You will think, don't think it too complicated. It's a very easy answer. Just look at line 21 and now. Yeah, Praveen, correct. Praveen, correct. And I think in that Zoom, you can rename it, man. I pose this name. Your name, please.
Sir, I'm Lakshminarayan, sir.
Okay, Lakshmi, fine. You are saying right answer. I don't know who it is. Fine. Yeah, in YouTube, they said the answer. In sense, just see the username and password are, it's open to all. So that's the one of the drawback. So you can't encode, decode. That facility is not available in Selenium. You have to write one separate function that is encoding, decoding. A separate concept is there. Implementing that is not a good solution. So they will ask just what is the problem. It is the password, username and password are exposed. That's the thing. Yes, Arun Kumar, Arun. Yes, hard coding. The credentials is not a good solution, but no other go. We have to compromise. To if we follow like this, we can able to skip that security tool or any tool. Just like that, we can do it. If someone asks, you have to tell this is how it will work. Okay, that's nice, Premi. Maybe I have missed you. Some answers, some of the things I'm not discussing because I will ask some questions on that when you ask queries. Okay, we are done with one of the important topics, authentication, iFrame, actions class. Okay, we have 20 minutes. Can do some two programs. Okay, now let's go to some easy programming. Usually per day, I will teach only one complex topic. Today, this iFrame itself, if you felt easier means then you all above average. If you felt very tough means, please rewatch this video of iFrame. Definitely, there will be some discussion in the iFrame because some questions everyone can answer. Some questions, when you code it only, you can answer. Such questions are from iFrame. So next one is mouse and keyboard action. Like in the mouse, double click, right click, drag and drop. Then what else there? Like when you move mouse pointer above something, it will give some message. Mouse over. Then so many functionalities we have it. Like you can mouse over. I'm not clicking. This is a mouse over functionality. This is the first functionality I should teach, but it is comes under quite advanced one. So these are all the mouse event. Keyboard. In the keyboard, press Alt F4, Control Shift Delete. Some keys you want to press. That is, we call it as keyboard event. So in Selenium, if you want to perform both keyboard and also mouse event, mouse action, whatever it is, means you must get help of this guy, that is actions. It is not action, it is actions class. So in this class, already all the methods are coded. You have to just create in the object instance and start using it. That's it. If you see it here, maybe let me see here, click and hold. This is right click. Context click means right click. Then double click, drag and drop, key down, key up. So these are all like mouse event. And we have send keys like this. So if you want to use any keyboard or mouse event means what class you should use? Action class. So actions class in Selenium is a built-in feature provided by the Selenium for handling the mouse and keyboard event. Okay. And few methods are there. Build, perform. What this, we'll see it quite later. Now the first program, Google image. And first thing I want to give you one advice. Never ever, I think Sai tried it. If you want to practice some pages, you can try any page, but don't try Google page. Google page is something the most complex page, google.com. Believe it or not, daily so many updates will happen in this page, especially in terms of World Cup and all. This logo will changes, suddenly something else will come, and suddenly some video will put like on special days. So never try this google.com or whatever it is, .co.in or whatever. Don't try it for practice purpose. This is the most complicated web page than registered demo page. Daily build will happen. Instant daily some changes they will do it. So the properties and values will keep on changes. So that's the first tips I want to give you. Now the programmers, let's increase the complexity step by step. And remember, all the mouse event I will create and make it as a one program at the end to end. So if you miss one thing, then you will not get at the end. So handling the tooltip. What do you mean by tooltip? When you move mouse pointer above any element, above any particular, here we will say web element, no, it will give some information. In the slide, it was Google image. I right now that is not showing it. Maybe when at the time of preparation, it was showing Google image, but see, that changed just like that. Now, what I'm doing is, I'm going with the search box. When you move mouse over, mouse pointer above that text box, search box, it will tell search. So this is an information giving to the user. Sometimes it will give additional information also. This is what you have to do. Don't right click option will not happen. So user information, we have to validate this. How to do that? This is one requirement. Sometimes we will come across in manual testing. We have to validate all this user message. How to do that is only we are going to learn now. So Chrome browser.com tooltip on. I updated here, not here. This is Google search box. Then first try to see the tooltip option. And then next step, we have to validate this particular search. This I can't, I know I can't, you can able to see, right? This search. Exactly. See wherever I keep. And when I mouse over above this, see search by words. This is also a nice example, right? Maybe later I will try it. I don't know whether the code will work for this or not. See, very nice expert. It will never work for sure. Anyhow, it's nice to see. Let me put it. Let's first try with this text box. This text box. And you can see class, max, name, q equal to q. Name is there. ID, it's not there. And trust me, for last 10 years, they didn't change this one particular property. Name equal to q. With this, you can identify the text box. Above this text box, I'm going to keep my mouse pointer like this. So let's begin the coding. 1 minute. Just checking. Is there any? Okay. Fine. So 15 minutes there. Just one program I will see. I'm going very slowly than what I have planned. Not at all an issue. We'll learn slowly. handling tooltip form connection dot mouse event. Mouse event. Event. We will have a separate package for keyboard, and then we will integrate everything in single program. What's this? Excuse me. What is the new URL? This is the URL. Okay. So after launching that, we have to keep mouse over above that particular web element. This before that, remember, we are going to use the keyboard or mouse. In this example, it is mouse event. So what we have to do, we have to create instance in the action class. So create an instance, object instance. That is what I'm saying. Okay, object instance in actions class by passing the WebDriver instance. This is the WebDriver instance. Okay. So what is the name? It is actions class. Object name you can give ACT, or I will give same name, or ATN. I will give like this. It can be any name. New actions passing the driver object. This one you have to by heart, not by heart. Just remember that you have to create object instance for action class. So class name, object name, new class name. Here you have to pass the driver object. This one line. Now with this object, you can find all the methods. Let me put it here on dot. See all the methods. Build, click, whatever mentioned in the slides. Everything. Click and hold, context click, right click, double click, drag and drop. Key down, this is for keyboard. Move to element. Pass, perform, release in keys. Tick. That also we can do it. So many options we can do it. So we have to create the object instance. Let's do it. And then what is the web element? You can either mention it here or inside that, anything is fine. The web element we are creating for Google search box. So Google search box equal to driver dot find element by dot name Q. Always, this will never change for sure. Okay, this is also done. Now I want to keep mouse pointer above this particular image. What is the code? We have something called move to element method. Just you're moving mouse pointer above that. That's it. That's what we call it as tooltip. So what is the object name? Action dot. It is move to element. I think I can. Move to element. You have offset this, and I'll go with the second one. You type fully. Move to the first one. This one, move to element, web element. What is the target? Enter it. Since we already initialized, so it is giving the suggestion. It is a Google search. So what this code will do is, it will move like this. But whenever we handles with action class, two more things we have to do it. Back to slide. Build and perform. So this is like build, there is one method. build method in action class is used to create chain of action or operation you want to perform. Here just one action. Sometimes double click and selecting some value. Sometimes pressing the keyboard, even pressing something and typing it. So here multiple events. It's a chain of actions you are going to perform. So for that, if you want to do that, you have to use build method. Then you want to execute the entire program, entire chain of operation means you have to execute, you have to put perform. So what we should do it first, we have to build that entire thing in dot perform. This it will work, but nowadays in the code improvement you can directly mention perform, because this perform itself will having an inbuilt feature build. If you work on some old projects, they will mention like this, but nowadays directly perform will work. Let me execute, and wherever my mouse pointer is there only that message will come. I kept here. I'm not moving my mouse. Can you all able to see? Search it came. I think I didn't maximize. See, wherever my mouse pointer is there only that message will display. Here now it is displaying search. Everyone clear? So I'm just moving to that particular element. Which element? This element. Move to element. My mouse pointer will move here. And as of now, I kept here, but still in the backend it moved and displayed the message. Where it, so in this example, my mouse pointer here or there, it will display that information. Okay. Now, one minute. This one. Okay. Validate the tooltip text. Again, an interview question. What do you mean by where, in which attribute this tooltip will be there? You understood the word search. See, search is the one we have to find it. After you inspect, just see where the search is there. Under the title, you have it. Under the aerial label, you have it. Anything else? That's it. So in two places, you have two attributes, title and aerial label, having the value search. But remember, title attribute. So the answer is they will ask how will you validate the tooltip means with the help of title. So with the help of move to element, I can able to validate the tooltip, and in which attribute it will be saved is it will be saved in the title attribute. So get attribute method we are going to use it now. Now itself I will see. See, it changed from search to Vinoth. So whenever there is some change in the title attribute, automatically it will show here. So get our again validating the tooltip message. Let's do it. Validate the tooltip message. Okay. String actual message. Okay. Tooltip message equal to the object name here, Google search box dot get attribute. We will use title. We have to properly type it, or else it will not take the value. Let me cross check it. Title. This is what we have to do here. Then string expected tooltip message equal to search. Okay. Now if actual tooltip dot equals expected tooltip, then I will say both the actual and expected tool. are same. The tooltip messages. This one. Let's execute. It should come tighter. So this is how you will do it in the automation. So wherever my mouse pointer is there, in that only it is displaying. You can see in the bottom, search is displayed. In the console, both are same. What is that message? It is search. So that's about the tooltip. So let's do a quick recap. We just saw first authentication. So in order to handle the authentication, what we have to do? We have to just modify the URL. That is, after this slash username colon password at. If you mention this, the authentication will be handled. The drawback here is password and username are exposed. And then handling the frame. Here, first time when you launch, you can directly activate that frame and perform the operation. But when you want to switch between two frame means, you have to move the control to default content position and then activate and perform the action. Then now for mouse and keyboard event, first we have to create the object instance for the action class. So this is a mandatory step because inside this class only all these methods are available. So using that object to move the mouse pointer above that particular web element, we will use move to element method. Just remember this method and pass that particular object where we have it, then dot perform. It can be build.perform or directly .perform. Then that particular message it will display. Then to validate what is the actual value. So using the get attribute, the title attribute will have that value, then expected value. If both are same, that's it. It is passed or else it is failed. So everyone in Zoom and in YouTube clear. So if you want a Zoom team, you can wait. I think we can discuss once I end this live stream one by one. Let me wind up this live first. All clear, YouTube. And tomorrow we don't have class. So that's why I didn't create the meeting invite. We will have next class on next Saturday. So meanwhile, Zoom team, you can complete all your assignments. Tomorrow no class. Okay, perfect. Okay, YouTube, Anil, Arun Kumar, super. To everyone, thank you for joining the class. We'll see next week, that is on Saturday. I'm just stopping the screen sharing and streaming. We'll see next week. Take care. Bye. 1 minute. Next class will be on 1 minute. Will be on 9th. Class. Happy weekend. Let me end the stream. Okay.